Good afternoon, everyone. This is the January 17th Shrewsbury Housing Authority meeting. A couple of commissioners are missing today due to illness, but 3 does constitute a quorum, so we will continue with our meeting. First item on the agenda is the December 13 minutes. Any comments or questions on the last meeting minutes?
Madam Chair, if there are none, I'd like to make the motion to approve the minutes as printed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving along to the next item on the agenda is a review of the bank balances. Treasurer's report. And then moving on from there, there's no comments or questions on that, right?
No, ma'am, you don't need
Okay.
to vote, no.
All right, moving on to the check register. Kelly, you did highlight a couple of things for us. There any further explanation, things you wanted to point out to us? Check number 21331.
Is the retirement health and life insurance, that was a big amount, $35,620 and some change. And fish number 271090 in the amount of $34,790. If you take away those two, we're roughly around where we would
Typically are.
normally be on a month.
Okay, excellent. Anyone else have any other questions on any of the 49 checks we have before us this evening?
No, ma'am, but there being none, I will make a motion to pass the check register for the 49 checks in the amount of $171,569.02.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Let's see. Next, we have our portability out check register for 2 checks.
I'll make a motion to approve those 2 checks in the amount of 2211.1.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And then we have the Section 8 voucher checks.
Make a motion to approve 147 checks in the amount of $165,551.38.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next is our payroll for December 2022.
Make a motion to approve it as printed, though I do have a quick question for Kelly. There's quite a bit of overtime. Is that shoveling, or is there a normal wear and tear?
We have vacancies.
Vacancies, okay, just
Yep.
curious there. That said, Ms. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the amount as printed.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And as you just said, we do have some vacancies.
We do.
So, there's one here, and it looks like that's going to a local veteran.
Yes.
Excellent.
That was for
Fantastic.
February 1st. And then apartment at Elizabeth Gardens, the first offer they refused, the second offer accepted, and the second vacancy is Champ Screening.
Okay. So we'll hopefully have someone for that unit next time we meet.
Yes.
And then at the towers, it looks like there's 3 that they're working on.
Yes. Maintenance are in process of making them ready.
Okay,
So February 1st, hopefully.
excellent, good. And we don't, do we know who is, do we have residents for that yet, or you're still working on
We're
this?
still working
Okay.
on those.
All right, thank you.
Oh, Kelly.
Our Section 8 program, you have rented our 2 of our new 4 that we have.
This is the hardest
Really? And it's,
to,
You
Trying
lost
to
your touch from the
find.
field when you
I
used to
did.
do this.
yeah, we're still, there's people out there still searching.
okay,
They're not leasing up where they're living. They wanna look elsewhere.
okay. All right, well, at least we have 175. That's good,
Yes.
very good. All right, any questions on any of those from the other commissioners? No?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Moving on to social services report.
Shirley saw 39 residents in December. A lot has to do with its recertification time.
Okay. All right, and then we have, this was one of the items in our check register that you talked about, this small project requisition form? Or is this a new one?
No, this is the one we're talking about.
Okay.
It's completion of the water infiltration, the French drains, dry well, landscape, replace the landscape at 37 Rosedale.
Okay. Because we already approved the check, do you need anything from us on this? Or is just to let us know about it? Okay, thank you. I'm gonna talk slower, we're gonna be out of here at 4:10.
Record time.
All right, so we do have our formula funding, looks like that was awarded. And they're doing it every 5 years, which is different from what they did before. Anything in particular here that we need to know, Kelly?
This is the same amount of money that we received in ARPA funds,
Okay.
that the email that you received that you need to
Sign?
and send
Okay.
back. And this will go towards future projects.
Okay, and do we have projects slated for that, or are you still working on that?
That's under the capital improvement plan.
Okay.
There's a rolling set of projects.
And what's up next? Just FY, trying to kill time.
So we're in the process of the doors, so all the windows here have been put in. So
Okay.
now we're waiting on product for the doors.
Okay,
The roofs are one
Okay.
of the projects here. The low flow toilets are
Okay.
another project here. And then those are the big capital projects
Okay.
that would take a big chunk of
Okay.
money.
all right, good, thank you. And we also have our auditor's report, which is the majority of our packet here today. I did note that they do say you are in compliance with all the requirements above, so good work.
Thank
I know
you.
this is not an easy task. And it is about a 40-page document that I know we all looked at.
Bedtime reading.
Good times. Anything in particular you want to make sure to highlight, Kelly?
Just page 41 where it says no findings.
findings.
No
That's the big
findings,
thing
that's
in our
awesome.
eye, yeah.
Yep.
Fabulous job, Kelly.
Thank you. It's a team effort.
But you lead the team and you do a good job of it, so thank you.
Is that it? Does that scroll all the way to the end? I read it once,
I
but.
think it's,
Page 41.
Is there something, no, I mean, is there something beyond the,
Yes, the one.
okay, that's what I was getting at, okay. Okay, so the.
it's a page 71. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going.
Page 65 of our report, which is 41 of their report, does state that there are no findings.
Yeah, and then, but is there something else beyond that, Kelly? On
Yep.
the-
The
Yes.
laundry room.
Which is
Laundry
Yep.
release
where?
agreement?
Oh,
That's
it's
page
page 70?
66 is the two leases that we have. We've been leasing with, looks like the same company now for 21 years. So we have the original lease from 2002, and then the next
Was it
lease.
done on a typewriter?
I know.
It looks it.
It does
It
look
does
good.
look it, I'm not joking.
And then we signed a new lease with them in June of 2013, which is up. I know there have been some concerns with the washer and dryers here. So, is that the understatement of the century? Kelly has.
Always broken.
Kelly has put together an RFP to go out, request for proposals for new vendors. It did go to our current vendor, though.
I have not done nothing yet.
You haven't sent it? Okay,
No.
you need our approval to send it?
Yes.
Okay. So just the high points of this, once we approve and authorize Kelly to send this out, it would be a 5-year contract. You're asking for all bids to be received by April 3rd, and then once we have them all then we'll review and potentially have some new machines in here for you with a new company, or if the current vendor supplies a quote, but one of the requirements in here is to have all new machines.
Yes.
So even if we do pick the current vendor, we would have, is it 13 new machines throughout our 3 facilities? Did I read that right?
5.
20.
Yes, correct. That's how I read it.
Machines.
13 of each,
Wash.
26.
13 of each.
13
yeah.
of each,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so do you need a motion for this Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve Kelly to execute the specifications for automated laundry services, RFP, as detailed in our board package.
Second.
Any further questions or discussions?
No, this looks pretty thorough, Kelly.
Yep.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Is 13 enough? That was only my question. Should we use this opportunity to maybe expand?
They will come out and
Space.
look,
Space.
and also with the space.
Okay. Yeah.
That was my thought. The room's X feet wide, it can hold, I mean, I don't know about the Elizabeth, to tell you the truth, that room seems even really small.
Yeah, there's only 2 washers there and 3 or 4 dryers. They're stackables.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would assume she's maxing out based on space, and I know all of those rooms are pretty small.
This is probably the biggest one.
I think the tower is this
A
big.
little bit bigger?
Oh, I think we have a first and a second authorizing Kelly to send out this request for proposal. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? So the motion carries. And I skipped right over old business, but I did make note of 2 things for old business from last time. I had on my list a survey of Elizabeth Street. I had it in my notes, survey the land down there to see if you had any additional land.
So, I thought you meant like, who likes blue, who likes
No,
yellow?
no, a land survey, a survey of the land.
Didn't Richard talk about that with
Yeah.
regard to the extra plot we have?
Yeah,
Yes, we had the quitclaim deed and everything last month.
okay.
Nothing but a survey, but we can do a survey.
I had that in my notes, so I don't know where it came from. Does anyone else remember that?
I do not.
Okay.
I remember the discussion explicitly about, do we have enough space, could we build, how big is the lot,
Yeah.
all of that.
Right.
Maybe a survey was part of that, maybe it wasn't, I just don't remember, but let's back up to the business objective. Did we get an answer to that question? Did the size of land and the deed and all of that, do we have more information?
No.
Okay, so I think that was the end
Okay.
game, whether the survey was the right tool in the toolbox, I don't recall, but the end game was to see the size of the land we had and what, if anything, could be done with it, if I
Okay.
recall.
And I thought maybe using some of the money.
Right, but we still needed to know the size of the land, the size
Right.
of the available land use.
Right,
So whether that's a deed or a survey, that's closer to your skill
Right.
set than mine.
yep. I think the survey would determine where it is and what it is, and even if they do an instrument survey, they can mark it out for us.
There's a pretty reputable one right here in 140 in Shrewsbury. I don't want to mention the name, but I'll do it off camera.
The other thing I had on my list was the update to the common area at the towers.
And I'm waiting on designers, interior decorators, to send, I had one interior decorator come in, take pictures.
Okay.
Someone is coming tomorrow,
Okay.
So that's in process.
so there's 2. I still have quotes out there,
Okay,
asking
Good.
people to come in, look at it, so.
it's in
exciting.
process.
So I was trying to save that for next board meeting.
Okay.
I did find out who furnished the furniture for the senior center.
Okay.
I just don't have it in my notes, but I will email it to you.
Thank
I
you.
did find out.
Alright. Wow. Anyone have anything else?
This has got to be a record.
Shortest
I think the
meeting
moral is
ever. I think it
we're
took.
more efficient
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah, it's
you
just when the
eliminate-
3 of us are. But I think it took Shrewsbury Cable longer to set up their equipment than it did to do our meeting, but we are thankful that you're here, so thank you for doing that. Anyone have any comments or questions for us? All right, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to take a motion to end the January meeting.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.